how much longer can we really hold on? I don't know how people are holding on right now. Yeah, there may be some money still left in the bank, and yeah, you may be, able to make ends meet right now. But I'm talking about emotionally holding on. How much longer emotionally can you hold on? Because I'm losing it. I'm losing it by the day. My grip on this weird, twisted, hilarious, absurd reality they push upon us. Come on. Seriously? The clown show, the circus, the entertainment? Come on. It's warping and twisting us. That's not who we are. We're not warped and twisted. We're perfect spiritual beings with quirks at best. I don't think we're that warped and twisted. I think the warped and twisted was injected into our experience by bad actors. That's me just talking, right? If you want to go back to, the essence of spirituality, the essence of religion, you mean to tell me from that essence, that pure divine essence, we have problems in our world? No, you don't get that from that. You get that from evil coming in through other people and saying, hey, I'm going to mess with the world. I'm not going to share the knowledge that they need to have in order to live a happy, prosperous, successful, purposeful life. I'm going to withhold all that from them, and I'm going to see what they do. Well, this is what we do. We fight with one another. We bicker. We develop neuroses. We have thought disorders. We have eating disorders. We have spiritual disorders. That's what happens when you don't get the knowledge that God intended you to get. Nothing we learn in the education system is of very much value in the grand scheme of things. Come on, 18 years? No. Ridiculous. And what do you come away with? There's no rite of passage for children. There's no sense of how do you know yourself? What is your purpose? What makes you different? No, there is plenty of conformity. There's plenty of systematizing your thinking. Plenty of training you to be a rote regurgitator of knowledge because they know that you need to hear it over and over and over again for it to stick. But the truth you only need to hear once. This whole world, my friends, and this makes me sound crazy for saying it, but this whole world, it's a make-believe. It doesn't even exist. We made it exist, or they made it exist. We're living so far out of alignment with the earth and with other people and with ourselves, we might not make it back. Like seriously, we might not make it back. All the city buses in my town are all advertising some pharmaceutical. Get off smoking. Get off opioids. Oh, and another thing. And every one of those cures, the reason it's around is because the same pharmaceutical company made the problem. So I feel like I'm a crazy person walking around in some bizarre Matrix-like world where the shit just isn't right. And me and a few other people see it and we're like, what is going on here? What's going on here? You know, all these people that say, well, why would my government ever do this to me? Why would they do this? What is their motive? They just can't wrap their mind around it. The only thing I say to those people is, I see it differently. I just see governments messing with citizens since the dawn of time. That's all I ever see. I only see on the continuum of, is my government helping me? On the continuum, which is the full range. On one end, you have ignorance and bumblesome. And on the other end, you have the most corrupt, evil shit you know. That's the whole range. There's nothing beyond that. So I know, just take a step back and get out of their way and let them either bungle it or make it completely evil. In which case, some people make a lot of money in our world at the expense of everyone else. And those some people have bought influence with politicians that sold it to them because they're slimy, sneaky snakes and they're only looking out for themselves, and they sell out a lot of people. And it's time we don't let that happen anymore, because I got to tell you, we have all the power. They have nothing. They're nothing without us. Stop looking at them. Stop listening to them. For Pete's sake, stop listening to these clowns. They've given us nothing. They're puppets. There are players behind them, moving them and shaking them like all get out. And you know the reason? To maintain money, power, and control. It's a freaking game to them. Has nothing to do with anything else. They're so rich and so wealthy and so far detached from you and I, we wouldn't even recognize their consciousness. That's my feeling. They're not even human at that point. When you deliberately derail human beings, it's my biggest pet peeve in the world. When you deliberately distract them or delay them or try to get in their way of them doing their purpose, them living their ikigai, them creating and gifting us with their gift, whether it's making music or making art or making buildings or fixing teeth or sewing up nicks and cuts on your body. I don't like it when people interfere with that shit. My biggest pet peeve in the whole world. And they did that in 2022 and 2021. I don't like distractions. There's no distractions, because what happens above and beyond, whether you believe there was a thing that starts with a V and ends with an S, and whether you believe it was created or naturally came to be, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Giving all of our attention and all of our resources and a lot of money and a lot of time and attention is not going to help the situation. We only waste our own time. See, evil players know that. They know that they're doing the most damage by pulling you from your purpose. That's the biggest game in town for the devil. You know it. Napoleon Hill talked about it. Interview with the devil. The devil just wants to distract you and put you in chaos mode and make you think that you're not good enough, or you're not ready, or you don't look right, you don't sound right. You need a degree, you need a paper, you need a certification. You don't need shit to be a human being. You need to create some shit. I need to create some more shit. I need to express myself. You need to express yourself in the way that you want to. Government is so... Hey, even I got sucked in. I stopped listening to them 15 years ago, but I got sucked in. They pulled me back into the game. But it's only because I saw them encroaching even further and wanting even more power, money, and control for the people that run them, that I was like, okay, you can't have any more. You're like a little baby throwing a tantrum. You can't have any more. And oh, by the way, we're taking back what we already gave you too. You're done. We're waking up to the bullshit. Your movies and your music and your shows and your little entertainment system, we're done with it. It's fake to us. We see through it. It's hollow now. You ran the full gamut, right? You started fully fake, then you went fake real, then you went real fake. I mean, come on. And now you know what the next level is? We get to play the game. We get to go real fake. We get to shine. You've had your moment, and we enjoyed it, and we sat and watched you. You sit down and watch us. Okay? We're going to solve all the problems that you haven't been solving. Plastic in the ocean, pollution, and I'm not talking about the kind about climate change. I'm talking about throwing stuff in our world, whether it's stuff coming out of your car or stuff coming out of your garbage, or, don't litter in the world. This is the only one we've got. Why would you do that? It's a beautiful place. Period. End of story. I don't know what else to tell you. There's no littering here. This is paradise. Okay, come on. The other day, there was someone had left their half-eaten sushi from like 2 days ago on the ground as I was at the shopping center. And I walked by it initially and I was like, that's gross, man. Someone should pick that up. And you know what? I told myself, I'm someone, I guess I'll go get that shit. I don't want to touch someone's half-eaten sushi container, but I said to myself, I don't want this in my city. One of the things that I think about all the time, this whole last year has been the biggest, the hardest emotional thing I've ever done. To speak my mind to such a degree that I have people that I know and or love not appreciate it, or not think it's funny, or not, think it is no joke. It's super hard. But you know what? The feeling inside of me that says, Mark, you and your friends down there, human beings, better start speaking up and waking up, or you're going to be in a world of hurt soon. There are things in play. Maybe you get that insight too. That's exactly the insight I get. And it's being beamed to me. It started being beamed to me, earlier this year, later last year, and I put it off. I was like, no way. Like, I know it's real, but everything is happening in the way that little insight, that divine packet of information told me it would. And so you don't think that I'm going to get up and get in the game if things have already happened that way? You bet I am. No doubt. Trust yourself. In these times, you got to trust yourself. Know yourself, trust yourself, be yourself, express yourself. It's you and you. That's how we win. It's you and you. You come fully alive. You get out there and you shine. And you think for yourself. And you trust that little gut. That little gut. That gut voice is your only ally. The only really one. And most people, myself included, we have shut that down for decades. But it never went away. It was always with you. It knows what you need to do. It knows what you need to be. It knows how scared you are. It knows everything about you. And it also knows you can do it. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't hear that voice if you couldn't do it. You're never going to get an idea that isn't sent to you from your spirit on the other side. You're never going to get that idea. Unless you're off in the weeds and you've been listening to race knowledge, mortal knowledge, carnal knowledge, and you might be off in the weeds. That's not where you belong, my friend. That's not where you belong. All my courses, every single course addresses some aspect of what I'm talking about. You shine in your light, because that's what I'm doing. I'm walking the path right here with you. It's scary all the time. But I know if I don't shine my light, I'm going to die and never having shined it. And I came to shine it. You came to shine yours. So for me, it was just an age thing. When I was younger, the younger you are, the more conformist you are. You're the most susceptible to you want to fit in, because I don't know why that is. Let's not even go into it. It doesn't even matter. But as you get older, you're like, oh, shit, I might die before I really become who I want to become. Or I might die before I do the thing that I am inspired to do, the little voice told me to do, that never lies to me. We do have to clarify the little voice, okay? I'm not talking about the little voice that tells you to go stab things. That's not the little voice I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good little voice. You know it. It's a gut feeling, a gut instinct. I'm not talking about voices in your head. So just to clarify, yeah, you got to go do that thing. And I got to do my thing. But anyway, those courses, the Purpose Finder course helps you find your purpose, because every day you walk through life, you've got to re-find your purpose, because life's not a straight path. You don't go autopilot on life. There are organic turns and junctions that you need to be aware of. We all need to be aware of. So every day you got to wake up and go, am I on my purpose? Go through those questions. Go through that course. And then excuse me, then if you're on your purpose. gmarkphillips.com/courses. The other thing I was talking about was knowing yourself and trusting yourself and loving yourself. That's the most powerful one. The 7 pillars of personal development. That's all about developing your most important relationship. I'm telling you, there is nothing better. People think I'm weird, I'm sure, because I'm single. I mean, I have the best friends in the planet. I have the best family on the planet, but I'm single and I have no desire to let me try to put it this way. I have no desire to go out of my way to meet someone, right? A romantic partner. I have no desire. It doesn't even cross my mind. One, that's a function of I found my purpose and I'm doing it every day. So my complete and utter attention is on that. And it feels so good, and I'm so fulfilled, and I'm so satisfied. And like I say, I have wonderful, amazing friends, the best family. Super blessed. But I don't have a desire to go out there. Now, I know whatever good is coming to me, I have to do the work. I need to set myself up. And that is by feeling good about myself and being happy and doing things that I enjoy and doing meaningful things and satisfying things and helpful things for people. And I know the most important thing I can do is to be myself. That's the most helpful thing I can do for people. To be my authentic, real, sometimes scared, sometimes in the flow self. That's the most of the most. It doesn't get better than that. You do it all for you. Because when you're doing it for you and you are in the flow and you're right in the space and you're right in the career or the service industry or the entertainment industry or the help of any kind or benefit of any kind or giving, let's say it's the giving industry, because ultimately it is an act of giving. You're giving, they're receiving, they're giving, you're receiving. That's all we're doing all day long. However way you want to say it, look at it. When you're giving what you are best built to give, and how you speak, how you walk, how you talk, how your mind works, dude, that's the sweet spot. That's the bullseye for life. There is no other pinnacle. And you notice what I said is it never depends on other people. That's the great ruse. We think, oh, they need to hire me. They need to give me an opportunity. I need to ask for this. I need them to do this. You don't need anyone to do anything. Look what's happening in our world. Every person has a connection with every other person that you can see them on a device in your hand. You can reach them and touch them with your message in their freaking hand all around the world. You don't need the gatekeepers any longer. We never did. We're waking up. This is the most awesome time that I can imagine to be on earth. When the most, and maybe there was other times, let's not be naive about the situation. But there's a lot of people waking up now. There's a lot of people seeing through the bullshit now. And I guess, and from my experience, that is a sign of good things coming. That's my experience. You can't have this much of an awakening and also this much of a resistance to us being awakened and not notice it. I notice it. Seriously notice it. And the last 2 years, they are freaking bizarre. Bizarre. The thing I always keep thinking about again, and you know you're not dealing with benevolent or wise and competent and, benevolent leaders and good leaders, is when you and them, we work together to put a whole shit ton of garbage into the world. Millions and maybe billions and maybe zillions of masks now into the world. How many of those you think are going to go in the ocean and strangle things? Let's not talk about it. Okay? Let's not talk about it. We did some weird shit. We're the most advanced creature on the planet, supposedly the most spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically advanced, and we wipe out the other species? No, that doesn't compute for me. No, it doesn't. It tells me the devil is down here doing some dirty deeds, because how do you get that far derailed when you are God? When you came from God, when you're in the image and likeness of God. You don't. Unless there were forces outside making chaos and disorder. Do you see what I'm saying? I never saw it before, right? I never noticed it. Now I can't unsee it. What's the meme? What is seen cannot be unseen. So every day I just walk around looking at the weird world that I live in. The food we eat, the freaking the things we do. Come on. Serious. Does everyone have to be on an electric motorized unit these days? Like, can you not walk through? Just FYI, if you don't walk and you don't use your legs, you don't use your muscles, those things will get smaller. Do you just want to be eventually a brain and a little, and if so, go for it. I'm just saying that, I just don't know that, I don't know that some of you think this through. And I'm just as guilty. I'm just saying, at what point do we step off the escalator and go, I'll just stay here, right? You go on by, I'm going to stay here and just ride a regular bicycle, because I know as I get older, I need a little more exercise, and I'll take a stair when I think about it, and I'll go for walks and I'll do some stretches, because you know what? I want to keep this little machine in tip-top shape. And let me tell you, I sit plenty in front of a computer. I don't need to sit more. And I'm really limiting that time as I go on, because I got to tell you, it's great. Technology's great. Connectivity's great. Don't get it twisted. But it does come at a price. And if you don't take care of yourself, like for instance, if you haven't given yourself an ergonomic assessment yet at your desk, please do so. They're all over YouTube. Keep everything at right angles. Stay loose. Make your desk height right. Get a riser for your laptop. Take care of yourself. Keep your body. Do some qigong, some yoga in between your sessions. Don't succumb to laptop-itis, where your body just breaks down and gets all rigid and stiff. I mean, I'm already a fairly rigid guy. I need to be more, right? I need to be more loose. So don't let yourself go like that. Anyway, all right, I'll wrap it up there. You have power. Don't listen to these clowns. This whole new thing with the monkey, you know what? Come on. We'll talk about that at a different time, but thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Leave me a thumbs up. Let me know with a comment what you thought. Subscribe, turn on the bell if you want to be notified. Thank you. And until next time, I wish you all the best health, wealth, and success. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.